This episode of the Radio Sidewinder Talk Show was recorded on January 8th, the birthday of Radio Sidewinder, and also the 1-year anniversary of the talk show. Happy birthday, Radio Sidewinder, from the talk show crew. Hello, Commander, and welcome to the Radio Sidewinder Talk Show. I'm Commander Felix Jefferson, and as usual, I'm joined by...
I'm Commander Steven Atronach.
And today we have some pretty special guests, including Commander Cellmaster,
Commander Bravo,
and Commander Euclidean Slider. Welcome aboard, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
So, I know what I like to do out in the deep, dark depths of space, but what do you guys like to do? I hear you do some mercenary work, is that right?
Oh, we do lots of mercenary work. We are actually for hire, almost always. And we've got a history of doing everything from bodyguarding to pirating and unstable factions. We've set up a few coups in our time.
Interestingly enough, we met these commanders because a former co-host of the Radio Sidewinder Talk Show, Chives Rios, got interdicted by them. So, what I'm wondering, are you guys just like into piracy? Is that a thing you guys do?
Strangely enough, we were just out there actually researching Thargoids, but usually we're not strictly into piracy. And we'd like to also clarify any form of illicit activities that we may or may not be involved in does not include murder. We don't necessarily believe in that unless it's necessary.
We don't like when the small guy's getting picked on, like somebody that's new. We like to protect people that don't, who can't protect themselves.
Well, yeah, you always got to stand up for the little guy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Unless the little guy attacks you first.
I come swooping in, heal their shields, swoop on out.
Everyone needs a medic.
A mediocre one, but
Commander Euclidean Slider's pretty much the newest member of our group here in the Void, and he's been really, really good at supporting other ships. He actually flies around with repair lasers to actually regenerate shields, and sometimes they'll even carry limpets to help refuel other ships. Very useful guy.
Oh, you think you're a fuel rat, huh?
I try to be. A heel rat, too.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It sounds like you guys have a really good dynamic going. I know you said Commander Euclidean is a recent joining to your group, but how long have you guys been working together?
Ooh.
Oh wow, years.
Yeah, for a long time.
Commander Cellmaster and I have been flying together for many years.
Yeah, we've been we try not to cause too much trouble, but when we're needed, we're necessary to certain factions that hire us out. We do what's necessary for people that need us.
As long as the work gets done.
And you get paid.
And the pay is good.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
The pay is the most important part, as far as I'm concerned, at least.
Never had a problem receiving a payment, let's just put it that way.
Also, when my ship is parked, Medic does, he does a great coat with the wax. It's great. He takes care of my ship for me. It's incredible. I mean, the man's talented.
I try. I used to work at a station, so, I know what I'm doing.
That's what the rookies are for, right?
Absolutely.
Well, then I gotta ask, how could you possibly get all the nooks and crannies on Bravo's chrome cutter? Because, I mean, that's a lot of square footage to polish.
I don't.
Oh.
Don't tell them that. I bring it into the shop.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to out you on air, but,
Yeah.
I'd like to say I try not to brag, but when you're flying around with a chrome paint job, it's hard to miss the ship.
Oh, believe me, I know. I'm fully aware. It is very hard to miss you.
And he smacks into everything, including me, every single time we're in a fight. He's just like, got to be right there. And I go to turn around, and this dude is right on top of me. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, I knocked on your shield, and he giggles, and he flies away. And I'm sitting there struggling to not die.
I gotta say, I know exactly how you feel. There's this certain Corvette pilot who, it just seems like every time we're in a resource extraction site, I'm flying, I'm doing okay, and then just get smacked on the top of my ship by this giant Corvette. It's like just being hit by a paddle.
Oh, yeah, you mean Commander G Suitcase, right?
No?
No?
No, not Chief
I
Suitcase.
don't know who else would be flying a Corvette and hit
There's
you.
another guy I know who drives a Corvette.
I know who suicides. I know who uses their fighters suicide me all the time. Mr. Bravo. Commander Bravo's like, oh, I wonder what this does. Boom. Oh, my shields are down, and I'm like, you got to stop that. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna make another one.
You've always got to test out your systems. I mean, I think every time I get in the SRV, I've got to make sure that the guns work, and it's just the Corvette is a big target.
Gotta make sure it works on people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, what if it just fires, and then I'm gonna go fire at something else, and it just doesn't work on people? That would be terrible.
Well, I know that Medic and Bravo, when they get down on a planet, especially when we went to go check out some Thargoids, there was a what's that burial? Was that a burial ground, or what was that?
I believe it's an ancient ruin.
It's a ruin, yeah. So we had a video that we were bahaing around one of the ruins, and these guys are like little kids in a candy store. Look at this! Look at this! Look at it! You see this? Oh my god! Oh my god!
These commanders were convinced Thargoids existed. I can admit, until I saw it for myself, I didn't want to believe it, but that was definitely out of this world. Out of this universe.
So you have indeed run into a Thargoid, is that right?
I unfortunately have had a personal encounter.
How do we know that Bravo is really the same? Were you guys in that area?
No, we were flying around looking about in the same particular area, but when he had requested help, he was about a few systems away, but by the time we got there, his power was up and he seemed pretty shook.
I mean, who really knows what happened aside from Bravo?
It was a frightening experience. That's all I could tell you. By the time I powered back in my systems, I wasn't much I could do.
Yeah, I mean, did you take any damage at all? Was anything broken?
Negative.
Any systems malfunctioning? No. So
lots of systems malfunctioning, but by the time I'd gotten the power back, trying to scan him, I had gotten some strange, unknown, and unidentifiable scans. But other than that, I seemed fine afterwards. Although I have this weird tic now. Occasionally, I have to smack myself in the forehead and jerk to the left a little bit. Otherwise, I'm fine though.
Sounds like someone should have been doing that for a while.
I mean, I guess the question that I want to ask is, how did you face this alien? How did you get into this encounter in the first place?
Yeah, that's the real question.
It appears as though you have to be carrying one of those alien artifacts, because I wasn't interdicted in supercruise. I was interdicted in what people are calling witch space or hyperspace. And my ship began to malfunction, and I got sent flying several systems away, like Medic had said. I was nowhere near our end goal and our destination, and they were following me. They had actually, in a wing with me, followed my wake. Shout out to Commander Wolfman the Hunter, who was there as well, and they reported to me that I was, how many thousands of light seconds away from the star was I, Medic, when you found me?
I think it was about 30 or 40.
Wow.
So they must have pulled you out before you quite got there. That's pretty impossible, honestly. I mean, that would be an interesting technology to be able to pull somebody out of witch space so easily.
Not to mention it was far. It's really a really far distance that they can do that from. That's a technology that I think everybody would really want to have, especially when you they must have targeted him when he was stationary and then tracked him when he went into hyperspace. That's it.
I mean, yeah, when you're moving at those speeds, it's impossible to be tracking at that point in time.
Well, I think it's about time that we take a short break and hear a few messages from our sponsors, but we will be right back, Commander.
I am a pilot, a lone wolf in this galaxy. No system to call my own. I survived the railgun shot to the chest when I was 10 years old. I interdict without warning to claim you. When I emerge from the darkness, I am the light, and my fragrance is solar flare. bang, and the lady is yours.
Welcome back to the show, and thank you for listening to those short messages from our sponsors.
And joining us is Wolfman the Hunter. Thank you for coming late.
Hello. Sorry it took me so long to get here. Thargoids incapacitated me for a little bit.
Was it a similar thing that happened to you, Wolfman? What happened to Bravo?
Yeah, but this time they decided to remove me from my ship for a little bit.
That's pretty strange. Well, thanks for joining us, Commander Wolfman.
It's great to be here.
So, we were talking to Cellmaster and Bravo a little earlier about, how long they've been together. I'm actually curious, Commander Euclidean, how did you join up with this group?
Oh, just flying around. Got pulled over. He saw I had nothing in my cargo thing, so I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. And he decided to chase me until he seen that I was trying to hit him with healing beams. And he must have taken a liking to it, and since then I'm just getting paid well, so.
It's a classic meet cute right there. And Wolfman, you've been with them for a while as well?
Yes, I have. I ran into him just kind of off the top of my head. I wasn't expecting to see anyone there, and found out I could do some wicked flying, and I've been flying with him since.
Yeah, he said apparently he was not planning on being close to us, and didn't realize that interdiction was going to be a beautiful thing.
So you told us a lot about what you do now. But was it always your goal to just be mercenaries and pirates? Were you ever had something else in mind when you started out?
Cellmaster, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I was probably the first to say I need to be in with Archon Delane. I wanted to be as independent as possible and make my own journey. I don't know, Cellmaster, what do you think? Was that your same take on it?
No, at first I wanted to just explore, and I saw the vastness of space and just wanted to go explore. And it was kind of like a trial under fire kind of deal. Bravo kind of just dragged me along with his adventures, and I started smuggling stuff, and noticed the well, the large swell in my pockets, and I think I just stuck with that because it was increasing my my collection of ships. I wanted to get into everything in the universe as possible.
Personally, for me, when I first started out, I actually used to fly, and I still occasionally do, fly with Aisling's Angels.
I actually am a member of Ashling's Angels. I'm an angel myself.
Yeah, I actually fly with them quite a bit. Well, I used to. I've been kind of incapacitated recently. I've just gotten back to our bubble, so...
Well, exploration's always a noble goal.
It was kind of a forced exploration, but...
Well, at least you have a reason to get out there.
Bravo started to, for our crimes against humanity, of being hired to do things, we started to train pilots and help the community by taking those new pilots and helping them learn how to fly. And I wouldn't have got as depth into the universe if there wasn't a bunch of commanders that were ace pilots, and they really trained me how to fly, made me a nasty pilot because of it. And I wanted to take that kindness and pay it forward to a lot of the new pilots coming in and helping them out with their experience. And Bravo and I, we got into doing that, and I know he enjoyed training all these new pilots by reaching out to the community and telling them about it. And we were a part of a I don't know, Bravo, you know the name.
It was a part of a more secret organization that was trying to bring new pilots in away from areas where they'd buy their first ships. and get them someplace safe, and actually teach them what they needed in order to fly appropriately. So we had started what we called back then was the Galactic Academy. It was something that was a bit impromptu, but it grew very rapidly, and we had a lot of fun. What ended up happening was our administration was not actually very good at what they were doing and bringing in new pilots. So once things started to take off, we got focused, and we were hoping the administration would do it, and it sort of fizzled out. And of course, we wanted to line our pockets. So after things were said and done, now we only take in exclusive pilots here and there, and pretty much show them the ropes, whether it's for combat or mining or otherwise. One of the first pilots we've taken in since our return to assisting pilots is actually Commander Euclidean Slider. Could you throw in any information about your experience?
I've had to blow up a lot of ships.
No, he didn't learn anything about the station or anything. No, he didn't learn anything about outfitting his craft properly. And
he said, get in a ship, get in a better ship, actually, because I was already in a little Sidewinder.
I don't really think there's many better ships than the Sidewinder, okay? I don't
But the Sidewinder, radio Sidewinder, represents a Sidewinder.
Exactly.
No, he told me to skip the lower costing ships and get myself stepped into Imperial side. I'm still independent. I've only fought for them for a little bit to sort of rank up in their social status. And I've purchased myself an Imperial carrier. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right in it. But it was hell and back that I had to go through training.
Well, I was just going to say, that it's nice to finally see a group of commanders that are actually helping other commanders, fellow commanders, like straight out of Flight Academy, because it's surprising how clueless they are usually. I mean, they give you a Sidewinder and they expect you to make it up, to a cutter without really that much help and just basic knowledge of how to fly. So it's good to see that you guys aren't actually, going after these new pilots, but actually helping them.
We try not to. Yeah, we try not to do that because it's not good for the community. It's not good for people that are already struggling when coming in straight from flight school and not knowing what is up and what is down. And even though we are in space, there is no up and down. But I'm just saying, like, they don't get the respect that they should get, and the training sim doesn't give them the knowledge that they need to survive. When I started, there was no knowledge. There was no nothing. There was just pretty much sit in the ship and have a nice day.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I will say, I had the privilege to take a look at some of the Pilots Federation's newer training sims, and they've actually updated their training sims a bit. Yeah, there's still definitely some knowledge gaps, but it definitely helps out a bit more than it used to,
Right.
for sure. I know they had an increase in demand for that, but it also interests me to see how you guys had such a noble goal of helping these people out. You even had an academy started, but yet this undercurrent of I'm just gonna come out and say it, slavery and smuggling in the system has taken. Don't, oh my goodness me,
Well,
Mister.
I mean-
I bought my Corvette with.
What is Mayday?
Are you okay, Sal?
Mayday.
Sal?
What just happened to my car? Hello?
What's happening?
Oh, he's hailing me. Hold on.
Yeah, Commander Cellmaster, what's going on? There's my ship is my screen's my whole HUD out. I'm out of power. What is happening? Commander, we're gonna send support right away.
Alright, well, it looks like we've lost contact with Commander Cellmaster and Commander Bravo. It looks like the rest of their wing is going to go out and help them as well. I hope that he's alright.
Yeah, really hope that Cellmaster is alright. It sounds like he was in a bit of a pickle, but on that, what do you say we start wrapping up, Steven?
Yeah, I think it's about a good time to wrap up. I mean, it's hard to continue knowing that one of our compatriots is in the face of danger at the moment. So, just remember to check out the Radio Sidewinder minor faction, and of course the Pilot's Lounge is available for all listeners to join. This is Commander Steven Atronach signing off.
And I'm Commander Felix Jefferson signing off. Fly safe, Commander.
Radio Sidewinder.